what are some of the examples? Like, so for example, you mentioned like going to the Starbucks or getting reward points. So what are the typical gamification kind of, if you ways in which to hook either a consumer or even a learner, just to kind of,
Sure.
yeah.
So the gamification has essentially 3-4 key buckets, right? And those buckets have to be addressed, whether you're doing it for learning, whether you're doing it for any other consumer activity, loyalty, anything that you're trying to do, right? First is understanding the end behavior change that you want, right? Do you want a guy to recommend you to other people? That's an objective, right? And I'm not talking about learning. I'm just talking in general.
Sure.
You want the guy to buy more. That's an objective, right? Do you want the guy to buy more at one time? Do you want the guy to come back and buy multiple times? That's the objective. So gamification, whether it's learning, whether it is, it's all about the end objective is behavior change. That doesn't change, right? So you have to not jump into gamification and story and this and that till you have not nailed what is that end outcome that I want to be achieved. Once that is done, then you get into the mechanics of gamification, which is that a true understanding of my consumer, right? Of my learner. What are their typical patterns? You spoke about Gen Zs, right? So Gen Zs there are some things you mentioned, which is like they have to be, their attention spans are low, right? But you see the same Gen Zs, they'll start a game of Fortune and Fortnite, and they'll go on for 3 hours. So where is the attention span there? Right? The attention span is low because you're giving something. And unlike the past where you and I have muscled through things because we have to do it, these guys don't feel the need that they have to do anything.
Yeah.
So the attention spans are not low. We are giving their attention spans are low for things that are of little interest to them. Right? So, but yes, right? And therefore, if learning is inherently something that has inertia attached to it, we have to recognize that they like things bite-sized. One of the things they like is instant feedback. Right? You do now, you'll tell me now, have I done a good job, or not? Highly visual, right? They're exposed to so much. They're digital natives. They're highly visual. And one of the things they like, from what I have seen, is interactive experiences, right? In their own environment, if they work with people who they accept things from their peers more than they will from others. And therefore, the more social the learning experience, the more social the interaction, in their own language, in their own way, they will absorb the things you want them to absorb. So anything we design has to be highly visual. It has to be challenging. It can't be something that is something that comes very easy to them. It has to be short, interesting, right? And in any gamification experience, these are built into the storyline, the personas that you are building for, the characters that you have built in your story, right? You and I might be excited about the historic kings and queens, right? But Gen Zs operate in a different, they don't care about history as much unless, it's told in a very interesting manner. And so apart from lingos and stories, one of the things that I have seen organizations that have got gamification down really well, they co-opt the Gen Z into the learning experience. Rather than let me tell you what you should learn, let us figure out together how you should learn. So at every point in your design, if you're able to work with a group of your learners and co-opt them in the entire process, you're likely to create something far more relevant to the audience than wear our own blinkers on what we think youngsters should learn. So anything that has storylines that they can relate to, characters that speak their lingo, that is short, quick, and that has instant gratification and instant feedback. It doesn't have to be good, but as long as it's instant feedback and the ability to redo, right? They're all used to games. In games, you don't do well in a level, you can come back and do that level again. You don't do it well, you want to further improve your score, you can come back and do it again. Right? And all through school, they have been subjected to one exam, one hit. You better get it first time right or you're screwed. Right? And that is why they hate the scholastics as a whole. Apart from, the 1% early adopters, everybody hates the exam process because you're putting me on a spot and not giving me a second chance.
Yeah.
Right? So any learning experience that accounts for these things, then the points, badges, leaderboards are all incidental.
Right.
Right? It's not why they learn for. But most learning gamification starts with these things. हर एक चीज में point दे दो. Just give 50 points for this, 100 points for that. Nobody cares about those points, right?